Welcome back everyone to Pinetopia, and today we are going to build the outer wall for the second level. And one of the key components to this will be the granite, where I want to get that all the way across. So the next layer is going to be granite all the way around, and then I'm going to see what I'm going to do on top of that. So first, let's get the granite up there. Now, first of all, do I have enough granite to do that? Probably not, because right now in hand, I've got 2 polished granite and 46 around like that. Let's just go up and put it all the way around, and once we do that, we can see how much more we need. Now, I won't need enough to go all the way around because I first want to do one side, see how it looks. And once I see how it looks, then I could decide on doing the others. And before I do the other sides, I will have to collect a bit more granite in order to do that, because I might have just enough to go around on this end. And based on that, I could see how much more I want to do on this. It looks like I'm going to have 10 extra in here. Now, as you can see, we have some here. We have one here. We have one in the middle spot. We have the 2 center points right here have some granite back to that point and also at the edge. That'll give us 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 in all. So you could just barely have enough of that. So we want to make sure you have that one there. That one there, so I could mark those spots. So those will continue up to still be granite as we had originally. Then the question will, of course, come, what do we do with the rest? And there won't be much of a pattern there that we're going to do. We'll probably just have an enclosure of granite, so going all the way around there. And then in the middle there, we're just going to have some diorite. How much do we do? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Actually, since we're going to have this enclosure of granite followed with the diorite, I think it might be better just to have these all around like this. Oh yeah, I missed that one, didn't I? Oh, that's because somehow oh yeah, that's right. That's the new extra one that I put in there. Good, and then one more like this. There you go. And that also used up the last of that. And for variation, I will use diorite for filling in there. I'm going to go up here. See, we are here. 1, 2. I said we're only going to go about 4, maybe 5 meters up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have this, which is the first layer. Then we have the granite. Then we have 2 layers of diorite. Then another layer of all granite going across. And then we're going to switch over to andesite, and that will be the top. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it looks like it's actually going to be 6 high. So a little bit higher than I was originally planning, but I think it'll still work out. Actually, let me decide. Do I really want that extra layer of andesite or not? I'll think on that. Fortunately, I had some granite and diorite at the other base, so I took all of that and brought it here, and look at that. Yes, I think that will work, and I could then just place the roof on top of that. I have to decide what I'm going to do with the roof, so I still haven't decided, but I think that does take care of what I want to do over here. Yeah, that will do. Good. Of course, I had to do that on the other 3 sides also, but before I do that, I am going to have to get some more granite and diorite. Diorite and granite aren't the only 2 things that I'll be needing, because there's another build I'm wanting to do that's going to be needing a large amount of glass, and that means getting sand, which is something I'm very low on. I'm trying to remember, were there any deserts anywhere around here? I don't see any. There are a few places where I might be able to get beaches. Not because there's that beach way near the beekeeper's house, but not much in the way of beaches either. What I really need is a desert. I may have to go searching for one of those things. I'm hoping there's one a lot closer than there is. Oh yeah, the nearest savannah is a huge distance away, which is why I wound up using a wandering trader. Does that mean the nearest desert is also nowhere nearby? Ah. Given the sand situation, I'll most likely just have to scale things back, but I will grab sand from the river and probably from the beach that's near the beehive, and at least things will be usable. Let me see. Oh, let's see if I can at least stabilize this. All right, good. No more running water. So I'll see how much sand I can get. I managed to get a stack and a half of sand from the local pond. So we'll just stick. I forgot all about these stakes. There you go. And I also now have plenty of food. So I probably took out as much as I can from that area. Well, I could always take this if I need more. I'm going to start the project, see how much I really need, and then get an idea of if I need more, and if so, head out to the beaches, because I'm sure I get a reasonable amount from the beaches as I'm going through there. It's not going to be a massive mumbo jumbo or Zoomaboy type project where you'll need stacks and stacks and stacks of chests in order to be able to do it. No, it's a lot more modest than that. So maybe I'll have enough. We now have most of the wall done, so we just have a few more blocks of place. And the wall is completely finished. Well, I'm sure there are going to be some nice little decorations to add on top of that, but the main parts of the wall are done. Of course, we still have to worry about the roof, and that's something that we're going to have to worry about next. And here is our wall from the outside. Good, everything looks fine. We've got our doors here. Maybe could fit in a little bit better, but I think that the quad doors fits for a temple this size. Thus, I'm going to leave it that way unless I could find a better colored door to use for this. Why is my librarian checking out the temple? I'm beginning to think that my librarian has lost his workstation or something. Yeah, like I need to get my librarian up a little bit more. I need to get more paper and books to trade so that I can find out what the next book trade is going to be. Yeah. You see, I've been trading it quite a bit already because I've been harvesting and trading my sugarcane so that I could try that. But I do notice that my librarian just loves to wander. I just wonder, has he been seeing his workstation lately? Sometimes I wonder if they get lost in their connection and just go all over the place. There we have that side. Here we have only a double door. Ooh, I notice here that we're showing the door from this side. I think I like the doors better the other way. Like that, so that they're... Well, I suppose you could argue that if they're inward, it will add a little bit of interest to the depth going on there. So I could consider which of them I like better on this. But this, I think, Works better with the double than the quad. It's just that I think that the front entrance needs a quad. There you go. And then we have this side. Here we have the crops to add a little variation there. But otherwise, looks like the others. Maybe we could add some banners in order to make things a little bit better. That's some touches that we could do later on. But right now, I think that we have to start contemplating is our roof here. What type of roof do we have? Now, something of the sort tends to have a complicated roof, mainly because one big, huge roof over a building of this type, A, might be hard to do architecturally, and B, would just be obnoxiously tall, which is probably one of the reasons why it's hard to do architecturally. Now, I would say that given the nature of this, even though I think it might not be the most engineering sound option, I think that the most interesting type of roof to have for this building would be a sod roof. Now, a sod roof, of course, would have to have at least a little bit of a slope. I don't think you can have you have drainage problems if you had a sod roof without a slope in it. But Minecraft, we're not going to be able to execute that properly because if we're going to have a slope with a roof, then you're either going to have a very, very ridiculously steep roof, which I don't think would work really with the sod roof. And on the other hand, if you don't have a ridiculously steep roof, then you can't put the sod down because the best sodding you're going to have is going to be, of course, grass blocks. Now, I have somewhere, probably in my chest, let me go and check, 4 grass blocks. Ah, here we go. Oh, 9 grass blocks. So I have 9 grass blocks plus a whole bunch of dirt. So the plan then is to actually have a layer of wood on top to act as my ceiling on the upper floor up there. And then on top of that, I'm going to be placing the dirt blocks and strategically place some grass blocks. And the whole thing will be covered by sod eventually just by natural grass growth. Then I could plant some trees on top of there. What type of trees? Well, that's going to be a real fun question. I tried to consider every type of tree I could. And here are our options. We have only 6 options, really, because we've got acacia. Acacia, I would say, isn't native to this area, so I don't think that would work really well. Birch. I'm going to be going with birch in the end, but in reality, I'm just thinking, putting a birch tree on a roof, birches grow fast and are very, very aggressive. So you have to make sure that any water in the area is really nice and close and they don't need to go and crack your ceiling for you because birches tend to be aggressive trees with their roots, and an aggressive tree is probably not a good roof tree. A dark oak, yeah, right. What you do? Collapse the ceiling or something? Is pushing it, having any tree up there at all. I could just imagine trying to put something ridiculous like dark oaks up there. Jungle, wrong climate, wrong area, exotic. And oaks can get to be pretty big themselves. And the other possibility would be spruce trees. Because spruce trees are a little bit slower growing and the like, so it's possible that now they can get, of course, get pretty huge after ages and the like, which is represented by the double spruces that you can get here. And of course, birches have the advantage of being able to also put in flowers and bees and stuff like that. So maybe a small number of birches. temple staff is probably going to have fun trying to maintain those to make sure that they don't do too much damage or anything like that. But that's my current plan, is to make a sod roof and put birches there. It's stretching reality a bit, but there's just some things that you've got to do. Because I decided to try to do that instead of some huge dome. I mean, last season I did domes, so I thought, let's try something that will fit the agricultural theme of this temple. Now, for the next thing I wanted to show you. Over here, I have my zombie farm. Zombies dropping in there. But beyond the zombie farm, down along the not quite done yet Granite Road, I have a spider spawner. Now, if we're going to eventually treat this as a bit of a dungeon where adventurers might be coming down to and finding nasty things in here, I was wondering what to do with this spider spawner. Now, one of the things that I was considering was turning it into a makeshift little spider farm, which I can do well enough. I could just close this down so I have a one wide area, get rid of the torches and have spiders come in and attack me, and I think I could do with that. It won't be exactly the most efficient type farm, but I can do that. Of course, I could dig very deep and have a drop spider farm on that, but I have a second spider spawner out somewhere else in another direction. It's a little bit further from the temple and might not link into this. And I was thinking maybe I could use that as a spider farm in order to get some string if I need it. And for this one, I'll make it instead as a dungeon showpiece. This has to do with what I wanted for the glass. So instead of doing all sorts of things in order to help these things to die or whatever, I'm going to try to create a room that's going to have a huge number of spiders. And this is where the glass comes in. I'm going to have the glass covering all in the front thing. So you have this nice transparent area where you can see in there. The spiders can't get to you, but they're spawning all over the place. So I need to drop them down. Not drop them down far enough so that they die, but instead drop them down so that the spiders would just spawn, drop down far enough so that they could have more spawn. We'll just have spiders spawning and spawning and spawning. Yeah, it'll be one of those contraptions that if you're doing it on a server, you would probably be banned because you're just creating too many entities and the like. Because we're just going to have this big room of spiders, and the idea is an adventurer coming down there comes and see this huge mass of spiders. At least that's the thought. We'll see what happens to it in reality. And the first step of this will, of course, be just to dig up all this stuff. Especially this gravel is going to have to go. Gravel just gets annoyingly in the way. Fortunately, I think that's all how far I just need to get in this. Occasionally get a little bit of flint in there, and I want to make sure that, I guess for building purposes, I could use this section right here. This is just going to go down. I think if I go down by 8, it'll be enough. I'll have that stairway go down gradually to the farm area. So this little area here, its main purpose is just to act as an area to dig out the rest, then I could fill it back in afterwards. There you go. Ooh, iron. Yeah, in fact, I might even run into a few resources along the way. There you go. Oopsie daisy. And we don't want to use that up. Well, obviously, I have to fill out, store away the stuff in my bags, and then get going and digging deeper. Now that I'm down here, it's into the main room here, intersecting up here. Now I just have to dig away until I have everything in the room all nice and deep, and then I could worry about things like glass and all. And here you go, one hole in which to drop the spiders. I might have to do something to keep the spiders from climbing the walls. I have to see about that. And I will eventually have to get rid of those torches, I presume. But that's a good start to what I'm trying to do here. Next time I will cut out a little bit more so that have a wide space that you can see here, so we can have a glass front here and you just see a bunch of spiders all over the place. But that's what we're going to do in the next episode of Pinetopia.